Mystic journeys on the door, boots still muddy from the trail. We bring the woods inside the floor, woven baskets by the bench, sage and yarrow in the air. Old hands pass a soft-born truth like firelight we learn to share. Be impeccable with your word, don't take it all to heart. Don't make a spell of what you see. We begin where we are. Mystic journeys hold us close. Mystic journeys we belong. For agreements, for bright stones, we keep walking. We stay strong. Mystic journeys hold us close. Cedar line we kneel where the chanterelles hide, bitter greens and rosemary, moon white stems in soil and pine. Someone names the healing leaf, someone knows the mushroom sign, someone tells a grand old tale, and we pass it down in time. Don't assume the wound is yours. And if the week has worn us thin, we bring it to the table. Soup and stories, cracked out laughs, the kind that make you able. Ancient wisdom in the stew, in the herb jars, in our names. Every act of gentle care turns the dark into a flame. Mystic journeys hold us close. Mystic journeys we belong. For agreements, for bright stones, we keep walking. We stay strong. Mystic journeys hold us close. Mystic journeys, sing it on. Grateful hands and open doors. We are many. We are one. We are many. We are one. Mystic journeys hold us close. Mystic journeys hold us close.
Ooh, what do we got there?
Hey guys, and welcome to Mystic Journeys. We'll get into that in a little bit.
Let's do it
A little
for you.
sneak
Let's
peek.
see. There we go. Nope. There we go. How's it going, everybody?
Sweet. We'll get into that in a bit. Cheers. It's our Way to Love episode. We'll get into that reading here in just a bit, and then we'll get into a little bit of herbology and some mushroom stuff too.
Sweet, sweet.
Appreciate everybody being here. Hit the like, switch to all chat so you can see everybody's messages. What's today's reading?
Oh, it's called Become Like Children. I don't know if you can see it looks backwards to me, but it's Become Like Children. We have 6 people viewing right now. Guest space, exactly, Sharon. You just haven't been on yet. We just need you to volunteer. Anyone, that's all it takes. Just volunteer, Sharon. I would love to have Sharon on. Sharon's a hoot. But yeah, Derek should be back soon. I'm not sure when. Hopefully, he'll be back Wednesday because this will be my only day this week because I am heading to Telluride tomorrow.
Sweet.
But HB can hold down the fort. He's a pro.
Yep. Just take lots of pictures and let us know when you get back how it went, man.
Yeah. But hopefully, Derek will come back next couple of days. I wouldn't imagine him being gone that long.
Yep,
But
we'll figure something
I
out.
do miss the guy. He's a good man. He definitely brightens the room.
100%. Hopefully makes it back safe, and he'll have lots of pictures and stories for us too.
Right.
He's gonna send me some stuff a little bit along the way.
Yeah, Corey can get the third seat over here. We got to get her to hold still long enough. That dog is a spaz. But yeah, we got some people watching. I may as well get started on the Way to Love reading if you're down. If you're unless you got something you want to talk about first.
No, go ahead, man. I'm ready to go if you are. Thank you all for being here.
Get a little water in me.
Deep breath.
Yeah. So, become like children. The Bible verse here is Matthew 18:3. I'm guessing because I haven't looked it up yet. Last week it was the wrong Bible verse that wasn't matching up. But Matthew 18:3. Truly, I say to you, unless you turn and become like children, you will never enter the kingdom of heaven. The first quality that strikes one when one looks into the eyes of a child is its innocence, its lovely inability to lie or wear a mask or pretend to be anything other than what it is. In this, the child is exactly like the rest of nature. A dog is a dog, a rose is a rose, a star, a star. Everything is quite simply what it is. Only the adult human being is able to be one thing and pretend to be another. When grown-ups punish a child for telling the truth, for revealing what it thinks and feels, the child learns to dissemble and its innocence is destroyed. Soon it will join the ranks of the numberless people who say helplessly, I do not know who I am. For having hidden the truth about themselves for so long from others, they end up hiding it from themselves. How much of the innocence of childhood do you still retain? Is there anyone today in whose presence you can be simply and totally yourself, as nakedly open and innocent as a child? There's another, more subtle way in which the innocence of childhood is lost. When the child is infected by the desire to become somebody. Contemplate the crowds of people who are striving, might in main, to become not what nature intended them to be, musicians, cooks, mechanics, carpenters, gardeners, inventors, but somebody, to become successful, famous, powerful, to become something that will bring not quite self-fulfillment, but self-glorification and self-expansion. You're looking at people who have lost their innocence because they have chosen not to be themselves, but to promote themselves, to show off, even if it be only in their own eyes. Look at your daily life. Is there a single thought, word, or action untainted by the desire to become somebody? Even if all you seek to become is a spiritual success or a saint unknown to anybody except yourself, the child, like the innocent animal, surrenders to its nature, to be and become quite simply what it is. Adults who have preserved their innocence also surrender, like the child, to the impulse of nature or destiny without a thought to become somebody or to impress others. But unlike the child, they rely not on instinct, but on ceaseless awareness of everything in them and around them. That awareness shields them from evil and brings about the growth that was intended for them by nature, not designed by their ambitious egos. Here's another way that grown-ups corrupt the innocence of childhood. They teach the child to imitate someone. The moment you make the child a carbon copy, you stamp out the spark of originality with which it came into this world. The moment you choose to become like someone else, however great or holy, you have prostituted your being. Think sadly of the divine spark of uniqueness that lies within you, buried under layers of fear. The fear that you will be ridiculed or rejected if you dare to be yourself and refuse to conform mechanically in the way that you dress and act and think. See how you conform not only in your actions and thoughts, but even in your reactions, your emotions, your attitudes, and your values. You dare not break out of this prostitution and reclaim your original innocence. This is the price you pay for the passport of acceptance by your society or organization. So you enter the world of the crooked and the controlled and are exiled from the kingdom that belongs to the innocence of childhood. One final subtle way you destroy your innocence is when you compete and compare yourself with others. When you do that, you exchange your simplicity for the ambition of wanting to be as good as someone else or even better. Think of this. The reason why the child is able to preserve its innocence and live like the rest of creation in the bliss of the kingdom that in the bliss of the kingdom is that it has not been sucked into what we call the world, or I call the dream. That region of darkness inhabited by grown-ups whose lives are spent not in living, but in courting applause and admiration, not in blissfully being themselves, but in neurotically comparing and competing, striving for those empty things called success, fame, even if they can be attained, success and fame, even if they can be attained at the expense of defeating, humiliating, destroying their neighbors. If you allow yourself to really feel the pains of this hell on earth, the utter emptiness it brings, you might experience within you a revolt, a disgust so powerful that it will shatter the chains of dependence and deceit that have been forged around your soul, and you will break loose into the kingdom of innocence where mystics and children dwell. And that is it. And I agree wholeheartedly. What do you think, HB?
It reminds me of my first psychedelic experience. I mentioned it several times already on the show, but yeah, this is the first and most prominent thing to me was that how much it made me feel like a little kid again. I was able to break down those barriers and just let me be free and be a kid and laugh and things like that. Um, so yeah, it's still something I have a balance with, right? Because we have to like be adults. It's funny enough, I saw a video this morning. This guy, he's an Australian guy, he saves animals and stuff like that. Him and his daughter, she's got to be like 11, 12 years old, something like that. They were blowing up a huge exercise ball for the cows outside, and she was like, he asked her like, what was she doing with it? She starts like attacking it like a bull, like to try to show him. And I'm thinking to myself, like, kind of what this story is telling us, like how much of that is our program, and how much of that is like just evolutionary. Because naturally, as animals get older, like dogs, they don't have programming like humans do, and they lose a lot of that puppy like energy and mindset, right? And they get older. So there's some of that naturally going to happen to people too, right? But how much of it is like forced upon us when you're like real young and you're forced to grow up? It's an interesting question, dude.
Yeah, I think we need to give kids a lot more grace in dogs and all animals around us because, you know, that's what breaks their innocence is just the judgments and like, no, you got to be this way, you got to be that way. I'm like, well, like the dog chews on stuff. That's what she does. Sometimes you just got to be better at keeping things out of her reach. We live with a dog now. But you know, I still love that dog to death. You know, she can do all the chew up everything in the house. I would still love that dog. But you
Right.
know, it's just yeah, just grace and love. That's the way to live. Try not to judge others. They
And
know not what
then
they do.
how you hold on to that kid like uh, curiosity is really just that being creative and finding new things, discovering new things,
Curiosity.
and things that you like, dive a little deeper into them, try to explore a little more to where it brings back that, relationship. I'll talk about that. um, One of the guys I listen to, Uncle Joey Diaz on comedy. He's been a mentor a lot in my life and taught me a lot of things. But that's one of the things he taught me is like how you rekindle a love for something that you do all the time. Like how do you rediscover it? And you do it just like you do with a person or anything. You take a step back from it, and then when you come back to it, you're like, holy shit! Now I see like in a new light, in a new fresh light. And it's the same thing with people or you know anything, hobbies, right? Things that we do. Take a step back from it and then come back to it, and now you're able to see it in a brand new light, like you saw it for the first time again. Psychedelics are obviously a really super big help and break down that barrier, like I mentioned.
David says, same with my cats. They're frustrating at times, but I love them forever, much like family and friends. See, I think the world would be a better place if we treated our human friends and family as well as we treated our pet friends and family.
Yeah,
they
treat
really
animals
are
worse
so innocent. Not everybody sees our pets the same way, like the way we do. A lot of people have no problem, just leaving their dog outside all year round in the doghouse.
Yeah.
But I don't know. My dog's family. And so innocent. But
Don't grow up as a trap.
I think most people are pretty innocent too, but they make some really bad choices, usually based off of exactly what this was talking about, trying to become somebody you're not. And, trying to get that attention, or it's all driven by ego.
Oh yeah.
And I think that's one of the reasons why the mushrooms really helped me a lot, because it helped me like tame my ego and helped me just chill the heck out and stop worrying about what everybody else is doing, what they think and what they say. It doesn't matter. It only
100%.
matters if I choose to let it matter. People
I
can
was
think
studying
and
the
say
book
what
of
they
Five
want.
Rings the other day, and Musashi talks about that. I forget the exact quote, but once you stray from the way a little bit, now when you diverge from the way a little bit now, it makes a huge change in the end. It's like steering a ship. Like 1 degree
Oh,
right now will make you miles off your target. And that's what happens when we do one little thing. We're like, oh, it's just a little bit of ego. It's fine. No big deal. And it's like, yeah, it might not be a big deal, but at what point does it become a huge change in your path?
right. Especially if it's that little bit in the beginning of your path, like how far along were you on that path before you went off too?
That's what he elaborates.
Like
I
the
forget the
earlier the
exact
worse. The worse it is, the earlier. You got to correct it as soon as possible.
Exactly. And never stray from the way. That's one of his quotes. Never stray from the way. Just once you do, then you become susceptible to it's the fifth book in the Book of the Five Rings is the Book of the Void. It's the same concept as the allegory of the cave, Plato's allegory, because you talked about this. There's things that drag us back into the cave or try to drag us back into the cave with like money and technology and all these things that are like grabbing at us. And that's exactly what the idea of the void is. Is like if you stray from the way, then those things are easier to grab your attention because now you're fed on ego and pride and money and greed. And if you work on those things, it's easy for me to walk up to you and be like, you know what, do this for $1,000,000. And it doesn't matter what it is, you'll do it because you strayed from the way. And now you kept straying and now it's gotten out of control. But if you always hold pride and integrity and honor in who you are, no one can ever buy you, no matter what.
Know yourself.
100%. And it's rare for people to have that because it's so easy just to let yourself slip a little. Like, who's watching? Who cares? That's what I always talk about. Like, it's good to live your life like no one can see you, but like everyone's watching. Because that way you're like, I'm doing the things I love because I love to do it. I don't care if people are seeing me, but the bad things that I do, everyone can see it. Like, even if no one can see it, like the universe is watching you, dude.
I'm going to bring out David's comment here. It says, my first mushroom trip, I reached a moment where I saw how crazy it was that I was taking life so seriously. Like, where am I even going that needs so much pressure? Right. Where are you going? The more, just be yourself. Stop worrying. I feel like
go with the flow.
recently I've honestly been going with the flow a little bit too much with certain people who are driven by ego and driven by money and fame, and I'm seeing it and I'm like, that's not why I'm here. I'm glad I'm here, but I'm here for other reasons, and they don't understand that. But that's fine. They don't need to understand why I'm there. They can be there for egotistical reasons. That's fine. But I don't know. I see it and it's just like ugh. That's it. It's just ew.
It's part of what Ramdas was talking about waking up to the world, waking up in the matrix. That's what happens, like a side effect. You're like, ugh, everything's so gross, everybody's so gross.
Yeah.
But that's part of the beauty.
Just a bunch of
Not only
gremlins.
part of the beauty, it's part of what makes the beauty like more beautiful.
Mhm. Bunch of gremlins out there, man. We're all just a bunch of gremlins.
Doing a bunch of shenanigans,
Yep, yep.
rabble rousers.
Exactly. Yes, I agree with that, Sharon. So mushrooms get you into the child mode. I really do believe that. It gets you back into that. That makes sense too, because what mushrooms do is that boosts your neuroplasticity.
Your serotonin
As
levels,
you get
exactly right.
older, your brain becomes less neuroplastic. And children have lots of neuroplasticity. That's why it's so easy for them to learn new things and so difficult for older people to learn new things. But when you take mushrooms, it gives you that boost of neuroplasticity, so you become like a child again. That's almost by definition, you become like a kid again, a little bit,
That was
in
the
small doses.
that was the big effect I had on my first trip. Everything seemed brand new. All the songs that I was hearing that I grew up with, was like, wow, it seems like I never heard this song before. All the shows that I saw, it's like all brand new. I'm referring to LSD, by the way, not mushrooms. My first psychedelic experience was LSD, but point still be taken. I still get the same effect from taking mushrooms. Right now, I'm finally trying to microdose 24/7, essentially. Um, been microdosing like zero point 0.1 every 4 or 5 hours, something like that,
Uh-huh.
since yesterday. It's been a day, 24
Wow.
hours, about a little over actually, about 30 hours. But we'll keep you guys updated and then I'll let you know the results on it. See how it goes.
Sharon says, okay, and lion's mane is doing that real time. Lion's mane's a little bit different than psilocybin because it is mostly focused on the neurogenesis. It's regrowing nerves and nerve connections. Psilocybin makes it easier for connections to happen. While the lion's mane's actually physically regrowing nerves. Both do both, but psychedelic psilocybin containing mushrooms have a little bit of neurogenesis, but it's mostly neuroplasticity. And lion's mane's got a little bit of neuroplasticity, but it's mostly um, neurogenesis, the rebuilding.
This is the benefit of stacking it with niacin, is that
Right.
it will
The
actually
binding.
push it to the end of the neurons to get it all the way so it can rebuild stronger connections, especially with people with Alzheimer's where they already have the memories. They're just trying to strengthen them or bring them back or whatever. It's just
Yes,
crazy.
Santa. You can do lion's mane, psilocybin mushrooms, and niacin. And this was an invention by Paul Stamets. He calls it the Stamets stack, and it's like equal parts of each. I think maybe a little more
100%.
lion's mane. I'm pretty sure it's more lion's mane more than anything, because you don't want too much. You don't want as much niacin as where you're going to start flushing. But it really, really, like HB was saying, it helps you get to the nerve endings.
Can you maybe pull me up full screen? What's the
Let's see.
possibility? Is that going to make it any better?
Full screen.
But Stamets stack is right here. This very top chart.
Right, there we go. Can't read it. I can't. What's it say for how much on there? I forget.
But the Stamets stack is psilocybin mushroom, lion's mane, and vitamin B3 is what niacin is. Some
Right.
supplements like energy bars and drinks and stuff like that have them in it naturally. So if you take that stuff, just keep that in mind. Like there's a flushing form of niacin, and then there's a non-flushing version. Which that means flushing is like one of the side effects of it, where it makes your skin blush, and that's the niacin working to like on the end of your blood vessels to expand it. So it's part of the effect. I haven't stacked with niacin in a while, but I used to all the time. But I haven't done it in several months.
You know, a lot of people really benefit from that. Gives you that extra boost.
Yep.
Without having to take more psychedelics.
Speaking of that, can show off some of the Tommy knockers. Well, short, stubby guys.
I'll try to post that on Discord later. I have the original file here on my computer, so I'll do my best to post it on Discord. If I don't, remind me, and I will. It's one of the handouts I give out to people.
Yeah, we converted it over to like a Mystic Journey spell.
Yeah.
On the backside, it has the risk and rewards of mushrooms, such as increased heart rate, blood pressure. Talks about history of epilepsy, pregnant or breastfeeding, history of medications, things like that. Keeping research out of children.
Ugh. Sam P likes the Stammet stack. Good. Good to know. You had some herbology stuff you wanted to talk about?
Yeah, pull it up. Why don't you? I've been wanting to talk about this for a while. I've talked about it, at least touched on it several times, and we'll just briefly touch on it again here. But these are herbs that can be propagated from the stems. And if you notice, these are tons of herbs that people have in their kitchen, probably as dried spices. And this goes back to what I've been saying. Like a lot of these quote unquote natural herbs, natural medicines, you probably have them in your counter. Thyme, rosemary, mint, sage, things like that. Stevia, even.
Yeah, I saw that.
It's a
Stevia,
great
like
place
stevia.
yeah, it's a great place to start if you want to get into herbology and natural medicines. Is your kitchen. Tons of herbs in there, and then you can get plants and cut them and propagate them and make tons of more plants and start from there. Doesn't really cost a lot of money to get started. And then you'll have tons of plants for next year. I mean, these plants can grow on windowsills, great. Tons of micronutrients and vitamins, benefits to these herbs. And it's super important to get in your diet. Just make sure you're not allergic to them. And then add them to your salads, make vinaigrettes, lemon balms, great, make tea out of. You can do tons of things with basil and mint, oregano. It's all pretty self-explanatory, but it's a great place to start for getting your health benefits.
Which ones of these have you done? I know basil's an easy one.
I've done thyme, rosemary, basil, mint, oregano, lavender, lemon balm. The marjoram I haven't done, but I've grown marjoram. And sage I haven't done. And stevia I've never grown.
I just thought it'd be cool to grow stevia, just because it's a nice.
They're really easy, especially like mint, rosemary. Literally, you just put the plant and stick it in some wet dirt, keep it wet for a couple days, and then within a week it'll start to shoot out little roots. Lemon balm. It's crazy how plants are like used to doing that. I mean, a lot of Indians and Native Americans, when America first started to get colonized, they would just cut the plants, the limbs off the plants, and stick them in the wet ground and come back, and there would be a whole new tree, apples or whatever, right?
Nice.
Yeah, these are super great herbs. Lavender for making tea, rosemary, and stuff like that for cooking pastas. And
Stevia is a great all-natural sweetener. It's like one of the few that's truly natural, and there's nothing wrong with that thing. It's not gonna, compared to all the artificial sweeteners out there, it's like it's not gonna raise your glycemic index at all, and it's just super duper good for you. It just doesn't taste as good as regular sugar.
Yeah, but it's not bad really. Especially
Yeah.
I have some stevia that I use for green tea, where green tea already has like a slight sweetness to it. But it actually does have health benefits. Blood sugar control because it doesn't spike your glucose.
Mhm.
Um, things like digestion. Um, it's a diuretic, so it could increase um, urine, which gets extra fluid out of the body. There's tons of health benefits these herbs, man. And the micronutrients inside of it, like all the micronutrients like vitamins and minerals, iron, potassium, whatever's in these plants individually.
Right. Micronutrients and stuff.
Yeah, it's great stuff. Great place for people to start becoming foragers in your kitchen.
Mhm.
Closest place you probably have herbs, and you probably have a ton of them. Where you got to think 100 years ago, people couldn't really get herbs like what's in your kitchen, like 20 different herbs from all across the world. It was really expensive, so the best
Yeah,
place to go all across the world is in your kitchen, different herbs and stuff.
it's nice. And
Cool.
no dirt needed. Clean. Just
And microgreens grow in water like that as well. There's tons of people who grow microgreens just in these microgreen pads, or you can do it in rock wool, things like that. But they basically just sprout in water.
huh,
And radishes, lettuce, beets, all those things can be microgreens. You
they
just grow
grow
them,
super
sprout them within a
fast.
couple of days.
Right.
Yeah, super healthy for you. Can add them to salads and anything. Try to make yourself a little healthier, a little better.
How's everybody doing in the chat tonight? Looks like the chat's kind of going a little slow. What do you mean, Sanam, by the 5-HTP? I don't understand what that is. Do you know what that means? HB?
Mm-mm.
I'm glad you all are here. We have a small amount of people here tonight. Yeah, everybody likes Derek. Everyone's going to be here when Derek comes back.
That was kind of my thought too.
Yeah, everyone wants Derek.
Like Derek's not
I
here.
get
I'm
it.
in.
I get it. I get it.
Yeah, but if you guys are gonna hang out with us after the show, we'll do some Minecraft. Um,
Yeah, I'll play it for a little bit. I do have a lot of work to do still before I leave on my trip tomorrow. But
I'll put
I gotta get my Monday Minecraft fix in, at least for a little bit. Hey, Ray Cook, glad you're here.
Yeah, speaking of making your sleep better, mint and lavender, a couple of those herbs that we just showed, lemon balm are really great for sleep. Mix them all together up in a tea and help you get to sleep. Chamomile, super great. They all mix together really well.
Um, just while I'm thinking about it, um, if you guys want to send a donation, one way that's been really, really tricky for me to actually deposit into our account is a postal money order. It's real tricky, and I have not been able to figure out how to get them cashed and deposited yet. But I definitely appreciate it, and any donations that come in. It's just that it's really, really tricky to cash those sorts of things with our bank because it's like an online bank. They don't like the money orders and stuff like that for some reason. Just
Okay.
an FYI out there for anybody. It's something I've been struggling with for like a month, and I'm like, well, I just need to start sending out some prizes, some gifts to people because I really do appreciate the gesture, but like I can't, I haven't been able to do anything with it.
5-HTP is apparently helps with serotonin crashes. Let me look this up. 5-HTP supplement. 5-HTP is a natural dietary supplement derived from Griffonia symplotium, simplicifolia seeds. The body uses it to make serotonin, a brain chemical linked to mood, sleep, and appetite. People commonly take 5-HTP in doses ranging from 50 milligrams to 300 milligrams daily to help manage low mood, occasional sleeplessness, and stress. Never combine 5-HTP with SSRIs, MAOIs, or other serotogenic medications such as antidepressants or certain migraine drugs, as dangerously high serotonin levels can cause life-threatening reaction, such as serotonin syndrome. So maybe there's a risk involved with combining that with mushrooms, it sounds like.
I would assume so, because there's that same warning when it comes. I have that same warning on that. The 8 risks. Mushrooms aren't all
On the
sunshine and
paper.
rainbow. Handout you were showing earlier. I'm pretty sure I mentioned the serotonin syndrome on there as well when it talks about the SSRI.
Definitely. It says individuals taking certain medications that affect serotonin levels like SSRIs and MAOIs should exercise caution due to the risk of serotonin syndrome and potentially life-threatening conditioning where it's caused by the excessive serotonin activity in the brain. Combining psilocybin with other substances that affect serotonin, example, other hallucinogenics or certain medications, can also increase the risk. So it's maybe not a red flag, but a yellow flag where it's like something to be cautious about for sure. That's why it's hard for us to like recommend people to do whatever, right? Like you're gonna do what you want to do anyway, but it's like important to like keep things in mind, like you know, yeah. I can't say no, don't. I can't say yeah, you should, but it doesn't sound like a great idea in my opinion. To me, if it was me personally, I would avoid it.
I know of some people who are on SSRIs and they still take psilocybin mushrooms. They say they have to take more, which I'm like, maybe you shouldn't. But that's what I've been told. So he says that it's fine and it's not that big of a risk, but he just has to take more. And I'm like, all right, well, you know your condition better than I do. I'm not a doctor, but I don't know.
Yeah, when it comes to stuff like that, it's usually like a choose one or the other kind of thing for the most
Yeah.
benefit. Like if psychedelics work better for you, take psychedelics. If the antidepressants work better for you, then stick to the antidepressants. So really, only you know your body, and that's the thing. And you can't take them both at the same time. And you can't just come down off of the antidepressants and anxiety medications either. You have to wean yourself off. So it's like a whole thing. Yeah, this is why I choose the natural route. This is why I'm always talking about the natural medicines and stuff like that, because gotta try to do everything you can to avoid the medication unless you absolutely need it. And mushrooms are strong enough on their
Yeah.
own, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't really
Yeah.
need like a boost usually. If it's the
Yeah. I've
case where
always
you're eating
been.
so many mushrooms and you're not getting a reaction from it, like 5, 6, 7 grams, and you're still not getting, that's like, yeah, we
Yeah.
gotta, like, something has to change.
Something's. Yeah. You got to do something different if that's the case. Yeah.
What was your
I've always been that way too, Sanam. I've always been kind of like, what do you say, pharmaceutical averse. I prefer to go natural if and whenever possible. And I prefer not to take medications for my headaches. And I'd rather just sleep it off.
Well, if this stuff is
Um,
a supplement, I wonder what it's in naturally.
right. It was mentioning like some seeds or something, right? I think you mentioned some plant seeds.
Yep, it comes from seeds. Oops, seeds of the Gifferonia plant, essentially. Let me see if I can pull up this plant. It's crazy. It comes from a plant though. But there are tons of MMLIs like Syrian rue is another thing that you should be really super careful with combining with mushrooms and or other antidepressants and things like that.
Which root?
It's this plant right here. The
Oh.
Gifferonia tree. And it has these pods, apparently. I'll pull some better images here for you. This is like a taxonomy picture of it right here.
Interesting. Looks like a big old bean.
Yeah, right. Oops. And it has these little berries or something on the inside. Maybe they are beans. I guess seeds is what they said. So
Right.
very weird. And human beings, they had to eat these things and were like, "Wow, I feel better." It's crazy, dude.
I feel less depressed all of a sudden.
For some reason, I'm just happy
Right.
after eating all of these freaking seeds, dude.
Yep.
Get Peruvian
These seeds
seeds.
make me happy.
Woo, boy. Yeah. That's why you always have to be mind body aware about what you're putting into your body and how it interacts with other things. And, just eating a fatty food before you take psilocybin can totally dramatically reduce the effects that you're going to receive. So, like what you put in your body, when you put it in your body, what it's combining with. It's so important to be like mind body aware, like how it works with your body, what you're putting in it, and how it combines with things, and how your mental combines with those things too. Like if somebody they ask again, if you ask me if I think that it's a good idea to take mushrooms, yeah, I think it's a good idea. But I don't know this is what I was saying. It's like so dangerous to give advice where you don't know these people. I don't know your history. Maybe you have an addictive
Right.
personality, and I just told you, yeah, I think it's a good idea, and you're gonna be like, use me as like, oh, he said it's okay. So then you start gobbling mushrooms down, and you're still an addict. It's like nothing changed. It's like you have to be really careful about how you give people advice and what you say, especially if you're not licensed or obligated to say
Really,
that.
I think the next question should be, well, it depends on what your goals are.
Yeah.
What are you trying to accomplish by taking?
Have you ever done this before?
Right.
Where's your mental at? Are you on other medication? These are all questions that you really should ask
But
yourself.
if you don't have a goal, nothing's going to change.
Definitely. I was just watching this video today. They had given this homeless man $100,000 to change his life, and he ended up back homeless. And it was all a testament to show exactly what you're saying. Like if you don't have structure, money solves nothing. But you have to know how to budget, and you have to know how to like be reasonable and save and all these things. But yeah, people don't
Manage
know how to do that stuff.
relationships. Yeah.
Yeah, and that goes into exactly their personal lives as well too, like how they deal with people and themselves and everything else. And then, it's like I always use the metaphor. It's like stink, right? It's like every time you go to take a bath, you're like in the same pond with the motherfucker that's like just reeking stink, dude. It makes you not even want to go in or enjoy it because everywhere you go into the mall and somebody's reeking that shit. You go into the grocery store, you go outside. It's like everywhere you go, there's gonna be somebody there reeking of that shit. Stink.
Ego.
Well, yeah, but it's not always just ego, right? Sometimes
No.
it's ego-less, and then it's like selfless and selfish, and then it's like all these different emotions. Like everybody carries different things, right? It's like
Yeah.
different colors, man. Some colors have shades of blue, and some of them don't. Some of them have a little shade of blue. So
I don't know. I've always wondered about auras and stuff. It's not something I've ever subscribed to, but I know people that say they see them.
yeah, it's the Musashi quote I was talking about the other day. To be able to know yourself well, you have to know others. It's the only way.
Anybody got any cool plans this week? Especially here in the chat, I'm asking. I'm going to Telluride, obviously. I keep mentioning it. I'm really excited. It's a bucket list item for me, for sure.
Yeah, I don't got anything planned until our meetup, which is basically 2 weeks from now. Not this Saturday, but next Saturday. That'd be fun.
Yeah.
So that's that. No, just been foraging and hiking, biking.
What day was that on again? So it's
22nd.
22nd. Gotcha. I'm probably going to head up to the Eagle Mushroom Festival either on the 21st or the 23rd. I'm not sure. So it'll be either the Friday or Sunday. go meet Hamilton of Hamilton's mushrooms.
And then I figured after the event, probably that Sunday, I'll take everybody who came to the event and go to a trail near here and work for some mushrooms.
That would be awesome. Find some mushrooms, find some rocks.
Yeah.
Good times
Like
had by all.
Mystic foraging and event all in one. So it'd be cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, in Gateway, it's the 22nd of this month. If anybody's here in the area, be 2:00 p.m.
Fishing week for Santa. Awesome. Awesome.
Sweet.
Yeah, this dog I got has been keeping me busy. She really needs extra walks every day. She is just so much energy. My little crackhead. Yeah, she's a
Ego
good
takes
dog.
many forms, but not everything is ego. Yeah.
Yeah.
Some things just, you know, like, because if somebody harms your family and you're like, you go John Wick on them, it's like, is it your ego involved, you think? Or is it like more than
absolutely.
that,
Yeah.
You think that standing up for people is ego?
Sometimes. Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes it definitely can be, for sure.
Most of the time, really. But it depends on what the situation is. I think not every time you stand up for somebody is the same. It's not always ego.
Yeah.
But most of the time, I think it is. I don't know.
Good point, man. Maybe it's something we should talk about one day.
Yeah. Why not?
We'll talk about it this week. We'll see. It's good. It's a good topic, man. There's also another idea that I have about trying to think of the word here. Starts with a T. Not temperament, but hold on one second. Tolerance. The idea of tolerance, like what is tolerance? Like
tolerant or intolerant?
Yeah, 100%.
Where's the line?
Yeah, exactly. Because it goes back to the idea of good and bad. It's like it's all the same thing. Just like
and
lies.
How tolerant can you be of someone else's intolerance before?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's fucking great idea.
Yeah.
And that's my point. Is like, at what point do I set like what point do I let my ego step in? You know, and what times do I set my ego aside? Like, you know, it's not important for me to step up to say anything in the situation, or you know what, I've had enough of this. And what do I do whenever I've had enough? Like, I've finally had my tolerance levels filled, and it's not the things I prefer anymore, and I want this to change. What do I do to change it? Like, do I just act on my feelings, or do I act on my logic, or do I combine them together, or it's all like a game of chess at that point? How you're interacting with other people and how they're interacting with you. It's like 4-dimensional chess. It's going on at all times.
David had some interesting things to say here. He said, depends on where it's coming from. I feel like if you had no ego, you'd do nothing ever. I don't necessarily agree with that. But then he said, or maybe you'd wake up from the dream. Who knows? What do you think, HP?
I do kind of agree with what he's saying with the idea, like, the reason why we have ego is to keep ourselves alive, kind of like that's what we're bred to do. And like, if we didn't, we would be so selfless that like we would end up everybody would sacrifice themselves for each other, and we would never do anything because there would be no reason to do anything. Because why? It's kind of the same concept of like living forever. If you had 1,000,000 days, would you do anything today because you know you have 1,000,000 more days? Kind of takes away. So I kind of agree with what he's saying, but maybe it's not necessary. Like, maybe you could live without ego, you know, completely egoless, which I do think that human beings are incapable of being in some way or another, because again, it's our evolution. Like, we have to eat. And sometimes some people are like, give me that. That's mine. I'm going to eat and let you die. But other people aren't really that savage. They still have an ego, though. Like you were talking about, if I make you feel better, I'm almost doing it to make myself feel better. So if I share my food with you to keep you alive, it's because I want you to be there. And I care about you, right? So it's like almost like an ego thing, no matter what you do in life. Even if you're helping, even if you're not, even if you're like, it's like I said, it's like good and bad. What is that really? When a tiger eats a lamb, who's in the right, who's in the wrong? in a situation like that? Who got the short end of the stick?
I agree. Sharon, you say need some stress in your life or you wouldn't do anything. Yes, that's for sure. But I don't know if stress and ego are the same. Like,
Yeah.
what's the opposite? What is the opposite of ego? I don't know. Selflessness, love,
Well, right. Yeah.
acceptance.
100%.
Um,
Compassion. Yeah.
I think operating
Greed,
100%
envy,
on
those
that
are,
way isn't bad. Working
yeah.
100% on compassion and love and acceptance.
And I don't think not having an ego, or like having an ego rather, is a bad thing. There are tons of people that I admire with huge egos, huge
I think
egos.
it needs a
Great
balance.
people.
I think
Yeah,
some people, their ego gets in the way of them being good
that's
people.
very true. Yeah, that's very true. But it's also because of our attachments more than our ego. Well, maybe it's our attachment to our ego, you could argue, but it's definitely our attachment to things, right? So it depends on why your ego gets flared up. Do you get your ego flared up whenever you get that knockout punch in the UFC ring and now you made 20 grand? Or do you get your ego whenever you go down to the animal shelter and help people out and they're all like, man, we really appreciate you for doing that? So it's just like where your mind goes and where you need that ego fix. Like, are you okay on filling your ego up on just being a good person? And again, I've been talking a lot about the five rings. This is something I've been like looking into and restudying. But it's like, um, sorry, I lost my train of thought. I lost the quote that I was going to say. Oh,
Five
come back
rings.
to me. Yeah, it'll come back to me.
Okay. Yeah. Sharon says yes. Others keep you going. I don't necessarily use them as like I don't compete with others, but I do.
Right.
Other people do inspire me. They really, really do. Like, oh, that's cool. Like you did that. That's neat. But it's not. I don't. It's not out of. I don't try to be like other people because I envy them. I just like, oh, that's cool. I want to do that too.
I'll look up the quote here.
Anti-heroes.
Miyamasa Musashi taught in the Book of the Five Rings that an elevated, overexcited spirit and a low, depressed spirit are both weak states of mind. The true tactical and mental strength requires a balanced, calm, and unchanging emotional state that does not reveal your inner feelings to an opponent. And that's what I think is really super beautiful because sometimes whenever we have too much ego and too much flair and too much excitement, it's our downfall. It's the thing that gets us killed. But when we don't have any and we're like, what's the point of it? Who cares? It's also just as harmful, dude. So it's like somewhere you have to draw that middle line and
Find
just
that balance.
not fight it because there's going to be some sways, right? Things are going to happen. You're going to get a little depressed and things are going to happen. You're going to get a little excited, but just remember to bring yourself back to center and like remember who you are as a human being without the tug of the ego, you know? And it becomes less of a tug, really.
David
Yeah,
says,
weak
to me,
spirits,
kindness should
strong
be
spirits.
for its sake and not too much attachment to what you get from it. Otherwise, it's an exchange. That is a great way to look at it.
Yoga, man.
It's not
It's our
about what I
karma.
get, it's about what I can give. And the more I can give, that means I'm making the world a better place. And that's my
It's
goal.
our karma yoga. Doing
Every
things
day, making the world a little bit better.
Yep.
Yeah, as Adam says, making sure others are taken care of. You don't need ego for that. Or anonymously, like, yeah, you don't need to tell people when you're helping people.
And that can flare your ego up. And it should. It should. Because if that's the thing that keeps you from like doing bad and keeps you doing good, then I say let your ego get a little flared up. But when you start pocketing extra money and you start buying extra cars and
I don't know.
trying to take
The
power.
person that comes to my mind, I'm not going to mention any names, is I don't know. It's just it seems like they're 100% ego, all talk, no action. And
Uh-huh.
I'm like, dude, you're getting in your own way. You're just like you keep making all these big promises and talking this big talk, but then when it comes to it, I don't see any follow through.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's
I talk
all
about this with the
ego.
idea of a narcissist, man. Narcissists, you think like you're like, why are you so narcissistic? You would get more out of life by treating people good than you would by manipulating them. But again, it's like it's all about that short game. Like it's like a fish on a worm on a hook. It's like I'm just getting that quick catch. I'm not worried about what tomorrow brings. You know, but people who are good and do good are like cashing that shit in. Because I talk about this being from a small town. It's like you might come in and you're from a city where you can just flip people off and fuck you, I'll never see you again. But in small towns, there's a lot more respect than that because you might flip somebody off who actually means something to you, and then it's like now you've like screwed yourself. Like, who are you gonna like? What are you gonna do now? It's like who you are. You could have just been a good person, put your feelings and shit aside, but instead you had to let all that go because of the way that you were raised and the situation that you came from, and let it interfere with your environment, essentially. And that works both ways too, by the way.
Yeah, just be peaceful and kind in all things.
It's the warrior's way. It's the way of the warrior. Like, it's not to be. You're not a warrior if you're savage and cruel and vicious and taking people's land and killing children and women. You're only a warrior if you're doing things with pride and dignity, honor, and respect. You know, and that's the way that we should carry ourselves if we're fighting for anything, whatever we believe in, whether it's like political issues or, you know, trying to get better community or whatever, right?
Yeah, I also see people acting out of ego in really strange moments, and too. People that feel like they need to police other people's behaviors. Well, you're breaking the rules. I'm like, okay, well, I didn't know it, and I'm not hurting anybody. So what's your problem?
Definitely.
Mind your own damn business.
Yeah, who are you to judge me? It's like goes back to the Christian mindset. Like, only God can judge me, man. You know, that's beautiful. It's one of the best things about Christianity. It's like you can walk around and spit your venom and be unimpeccable with your word and whatever you want to say at me, but only God can judge me at the end of the day. Because people will. That's just it's the way like how to react to it. It's a funny story about Musashi. We've been watching a documentary of him. When he was a kid, a monk had caught him and tied him to a tree, like from a rope, and hung him there. And as Musashi's like, blah, 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 I was like giving it to him. The monk's just standing there smiling, and it's like the total polar contrast of like a young man of who Musashi would become staring at himself, essentially. Like the monk, just like, you could say whatever you want to me. There's like nothing you could say. And he gave him one of the best lessons that you could ever say is like you have strength, but you're not strong unless your mind is strong, unless you have control over yourself and your own emotions. Because then you become weak and susceptible. And it's what led Musashi to write the Book of the Five Rings. And it's why it's such a philosophical book about, do you have the power over your mental fortitude? No matter what happens to you, you're just all about combating it.
Mind control. It's about you controlling your mind.
Definitely.
That's the trick.
I love Musashi's stance because he says, respect God and the Buddha and the gods, but don't rely on them. And that to me is how I've always lived my life. Like, I believe in spirituality and God, if you will, but I don't wait for them to save me. I don't wait for them to come pick me up out of the dark, because they won't. You have to be the one, just like you were talking about with the psychedelic. You got to be the one to make that shit work and work with it.
You got to do the work. No one else can do it for you.
100%, bro. And that's the warrior way. You're not going to get, the universe doesn't reward cowardice.
Right.
And weak souls. It only rewards being courageous and curiosity and learning and growing.
Yeah. There's certain people that really, really want to work with me, and I'm like, I want to work with you too, but you got to learn how to start being impeccable, start showing up and doing the things you say you're going to do, and.
It's the idea of the trench.
Yeah.
Like, look, we only have a week to get through here before we run out of food, and I can't have you grabbing onto my ankles. You got to let go. I got to keep moving. If you want to sit here, that's fine. Maybe we'll catch you on the next round or whatever.
I can't keep waiting for them to catch up because they're not trying to catch up. They're happy where they're at.
Drag you around. Yeah.
But I'm not judging. I'm not judging at all. I'm like, no, you're fine where you're at. It's fine. You don't have to be me or be like me. Don't be like me. Be yourself. I think a lot of people get that they get tripped up with that when it comes to like Alan Rockefeller or Paul Stamets and things like that, and like, oh my God, they're so cool. I want to be just like them. I'm like, no, you don't know what it's like to be those guys. I bet it kind of sucks most days to be
But
those
then
guys.
it's like being an Elvis impersonator at that point. Like you're never going to be Elvis. You're just going to be an
No.
impersonator at that point. They're gonna be like, oh, you're just like you're ripping
Do
off
your
Paul
own thing.
Stamets, dude.
Right.
Yeah.
There's so many different avenues you can go in the same area. Like there's so much stuff to do in mycology. It doesn't have to be all. I don't have to be like anybody. I really can just carve my own path.
Definitely.
I'm tired of telling other people, letting other people telling me how I'm supposed to be doing my things. I'm like, no, man. Like, there's no one else has done this before. So I'm carving my own path.
Definitely.
I don't want to be. Most people I see over
To me-
commercializing everything and just making it all about them. And
Definitely right.
No, it's not about me.
Everything
it's
you just said relates to the music industry, and it's the same concept whenever you're writing songs. It's like, yeah, I might have Led Zeppelin as my influence, but I'm my own thing, and I'm doing this for me. It's not to be like them, and it's not to impress you guys. So whatever I'm doing, it exactly what you say. It becomes commercialized, and everybody wants to be keeping up with the Joneses, is what they call it. They want to have the nice car and the nice house and the nice job, and really
exactly, Mello. Always be yourself, unless you can be Batman. Then be Batman. Exactly. Oh, that's funny. Well, we've hit the hour mark.
Cool.
Why don't we take a little break, and then we'll be back on in about half hour past the hour.
Sweet.
Play a little Minecraft for a little bit at least.
I like it.
Just a little bit.
If anybody has any questions, cool. Yeah, I'll be on there for a little while. If anybody has any questions about mycology or memberships or anything, reach out to us. We'll answer your questions. If you guys want to support, as the best way to support is to get a membership on mysticjourneyschurch.org. And we thank you guys for being here anyway. Whether you support with a membership or just support by being here.
Every one of you just being here makes a big difference. Thank you.
The first Mystic Journeys meetup will be not this Saturday, but next Saturday, August 22nd, 2 p.m. And we'll be doing hot dogs and giveaways and music and stuff. Be a really cool time.
We'll be passing out the sacrament.
Definitely.
But you have me hot dogs.
Yeah, we got pamphlets and everything for everyone so they can start proving practice of their religious autonomy and make sure everybody's practicing their agreements, be impeccable with your word, don't take things personally, don't have expectations and assumptions, always do your best and be skeptical, learn to listen. We will catch you guys all possibly tomorrow. I'm thinking about maybe getting on here and popping on and doing live for a little bit, so we'll see what's up. No promises. But yeah, see you guys later. Bye, everyone. Have a great night.
Love y'all.
Stepping slow at dawn, mystic journeys on the door. Boots still muddy from the trail, we bring the woods inside the floor. Woven baskets by the bench, sage and yarrow in the air. Old hands pass a soft-born truth like firelight we learn to share. Be impeccable with your word, don't take it all to heart. Don't make a spell of what you see, we begin where we are. Mystic journey. Someone names the healing leaf. Someone knows the mushroom sign. Someone tells a grand old tale, and we pass it down in time. Don't assume the wound is yours. Don't invent the cloud. Speak with care and listen deep. Let the circle be proud. Mystic journeys hold us close. Mystic journeys we belong. For agreements, for bright stones, we keep walking. We stay strong. Mystic journeys hold us close. Mystic journeys, sing it on. Grateful hands and open doors. We are many. We are one. And if the week has worn us thin, we bring it to the table. Soup and stories, cracked out laughs, the kind that make you able. Ancient wisdom in the stew, in the herb jar